There's no substitution for showing up on time, knowing the task at hand, and having an idea that you yourself have come up with. This quiet philosophy captures Tom Hanks more clearly than any acceptance speech ever could. To the world, he represents decency, reliability, and emotional warmth. His presence on screen feels familiar, almost reassuring, like someone you instinctively trust. Yet behind that comforting image is a man shaped by uncertainty, reflection, and responsibility. His life has not been defined by ease or constant confidence, but by learning how to remain grounded while navigating pressure, loss, and expectation. Hanks's story is not about perfection or celebrity fantasy. It is about consistency, humility, and the choice to keep showing up even when life feels unsteady. That steady commitment, more than fame or talent, explains why audiences continue to connect with him across generations. Beyond the roles we remember, audiences recognize Tom Hanks through unforgettable characters: Forrest Gump, Captain Miller, Woody, or the man stranded alone in Castaway. These roles have become part of shared cultural memory, replayed and quoted for decades. What often goes unnoticed is how personal these performances feel. Hanks does not rely on spectacle or exaggeration. Instead, he brings quiet emotional truth to each role, allowing vulnerability and restraint to do the work. His characters rarely demand attention, they earn it. That authenticity comes from lived experience rather than imitation. He understands loneliness, responsibility, and resilience not as abstract ideas, but as human realities. Each performance feels grounded because it carries emotional weight without manipulation. Rather than disappearing into roles, Hanks brings forward a deep understanding of people, making even extraordinary stories feel intimate and real. A childhood marked by displacement. Tom Hanks's early life was shaped by instability rather than comfort. After his parents divorced when he was very young, his sense of home became fragmented. He and his siblings were separated, moving between households, relatives, and new environments that rarely felt permanent. Each move meant starting over: new schools, new rules, new expectations. Stability was the exception, not the norm. As a child, Hanks learned to adapt quickly, often keeping to himself as a form of self-protection. He has described himself as shy and uncertain, more comfortable observing than participating. That early displacement created a lasting awareness of how fragile belonging can be. Yet it also taught him flexibility and empathy. While others formed roots, he learned how to adjust, listen, and quietly endure, skills that would later shape both his craft and his character. The power of observation. Rather than becoming hardened by loneliness, Hanks became attentive. He watched people closely, how they spoke, how they reacted under pressure, how humor often masked discomfort. Observation became his emotional education. Without realizing it, he was studying human behavior in its most honest forms. This habit did not come from ambition, but from necessity. Listening felt safer than speaking. Watching felt more reliable than assuming. Over time, that awareness became a gift. It allowed him to understand emotional nuance, subtle shifts in tone, and unspoken vulnerability. When he later stepped into acting, he wasn't performing emotions he imagined. He was translating emotions he recognized. His ability to make characters feel lived in comes from this early training in empathy. He learned how people carry fear, hope, and uncertainty. And that understanding became the foundation of his storytelling. Loneliness as creative ground. The solitude Hanks experienced in his youth never disappeared entirely, but it transformed. Rather than becoming a source of bitterness, it became a creative well. Many of his most resonant characters share that quiet sense of isolation, people navigating a world that doesn't fully understand them. Whether it's Forrest Gump moving through life with sincerity or a man surviving alone with only his thoughts, these stories feel authentic because they reflect genuine emotional memory. Hanks does not dramatize loneliness, he respects it. He allows silence, stillness, and restraint to speak. That sensitivity resonates with audiences because it mirrors real experience. Loneliness, after all, is something many people recognize but struggle to articulate. Through his work, Hanks gives that feeling a voice without turning it into spectacle. He reminds viewers that isolation can coexist with dignity, kindness, and quiet strength. The long road before recognition. Tom Hanks's entry into acting was anything but glamorous. In the late 1970s, he pursued his dream with more determination than certainty. Early roles were small, unstable, and often forgettable. Financial insecurity was constant and rejection was routine. Opportunities appeared briefly, then vanished. Yet Hanks approached each job with seriousness and respect. He showed up prepared, learned from failure, and treated every experience as part of his education. Rather than chasing instant validation, he focused on craft. That patience shaped his career. He allowed himself time to grow, to understand storytelling, and to develop confidence without arrogance. His early years were defined not by success, but by persistence. Those experiences taught him that meaningful work rarely arrives quickly, and that endurance often matters more than talent alone. Kindness as a professional strength. In an industry often associated with ego and competition, Tom Hanks stood out for his consistency and kindness. He arrived on time, respected everyone on set, and treated crew members with genuine courtesy. Early in his career, this behavior was sometimes misunderstood as a lack of ambition. He wasn't loud or demanding. He didn't dominate rooms. Over time, however, that steadiness became his greatest strength. People trusted him. Directors relied on him. Fellow actors felt supported rather than overshadowed. Hanks built a reputation not through force, but through reliability. That trust sustained his career across decades. In a profession where reputations can be fragile, his remained solid. Kindness was not a strategy. It was simply how he moved through the world. Ironically, that humility made him one of the most dependable leading men of his generation. Growth, responsibility, and reflection. As his career evolved, Hanks took on roles that demanded emotional and physical commitment. He approached these challenges with discipline rather than recklessness, learning over time the importance of balance. He has spoken openly about health changes and the need for responsibility, choosing honesty over image. Rather than framing challenges as regret, he treats them as lessons. That mindset extends beyond his work. In his personal life, early marriage and fatherhood came with pressures he was not fully prepared for. Divorce brought reflection rather than resentment. He has acknowledged imperfections without self-pity, recognizing how growth often arrives after difficulty. These experiences deepened his understanding of responsibility, both as a parent and as a person. Instead of retreating from mistakes, he allowed them to inform his choices, shaping a more thoughtful and grounded approach to life. Endurance in love and partnership. Finding stability later in life reshaped Hanks's understanding of partnership. His marriage to Rita Wilson is grounded in mutual respect, humor, and support rather than idealized romance. Together, they navigated both success and vulnerability. When illness entered their lives, roles reversed, and Hanks embraced caregiving with patience and presence. That experience reinforced a simple truth. Love reveals itself most clearly during difficulty, not celebration. He approached these moments privately, without spectacle, choosing dignity over performance. Their partnership reflects maturity rather than perfection, built on showing up consistently for one another. Through shared challenges, Hanks learned that strength is not about control, but about care. Stability, once absent from his childhood, became something he helped create. That sense of balance continues to anchor him amid the demands of public life. A legacy of quiet consistency. Tom Hanks's legacy is not defined solely by awards or iconic performances. It is defined by trust. Audiences trust him because his work feels sincere. Colleagues trust him because he respects the craft and the people behind it. His life reflects accountability rather than entitlement, endurance rather than bitterness. He does not present himself as flawless, only committed. Through uncertainty, illness, family challenges, and decades in the public eye, he continues to show up, prepared, thoughtful, and present. That quiet consistency is rare. It reminds us that greatness is not about escaping hardship, but about moving through it without losing empathy. Behind the familiar face is not a myth, but a human story shaped by reflection, responsibility, and resilience. And perhaps that is why his presence continues to endure, because it feels real,